Okay.
My apologies to the panelists for the delay. That is, the minister had joined the last session late, so around 10-15 minutes got delayed due to that.
Ma'am, we are live.
Thank you so much, sir. We are live. So
okay, good afternoon to all. Welcome to the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce Agro Summit. The theme of today's Agro Summit is value addition of agriculture produce, challenges and opportunities. We had the inaugural session, and also we had the minister speak in the next session. We have had discussions on what is the challenges and opportunities in the value addition of agriculture produce. And then a session on modern cold storage has completed. Now we are into the next session of dairy industry. Without wasting much time, I would like to call upon Mr. Jain Mehta, Managing Director of GCMMF, which is called as Amul, India's largest food product marketing organization. Jain sir has associated with Amul for the last 32 years. He is a graduate in business administration with University Gold Medal from Sardar Patel University. Welcome, Mr. Jain sir.
Thank you so much. A great pleasure to be here today, and my greetings to all the panelists here, including Chairman NDDB, Shri Minesh Shah ji, Ruchi, Sudhir ji, Professor Dinesh ji, and great pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Over to you, sir. You have to give the address, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll share my screen with you. It's a small presentation talking about what the strengths of our Indian dairy industry are and how we are looking at the future to build a strong foundation for our farmers across the country.
Thank you.
Just give me a minute. Full screen. So I think it's a great initiative to have this Agro Summit today to highlight the opportunities that are there to add value to the dairy sector. We have a different view of actually value addition in dairy sector, but I'll talk about it later. But let me just put up some numbers before each one of you so that you get an idea of what we are and where the current opportunities are. So this is a number of 10 billion liters of milk that we handle each year. This is the milk which we collect from our 3.6 million farmers across 18,600 villages. And it adds up to 10 billion liters, which is 8th largest dairy in the world. And this is the sales turnover of brand Amul, which is $9 billion US. So this is what the turnover we achieved in the year 2000, which ended in the March 23 for the year 22-23, a growth of about 20% over the previous year. So this is the actual number of packs that we sell in a year. 20 billion packs in a year. Can I see the photo, Mukund, which I can see the participants? 20 billion packs of Amul products we sell in a year. This includes all the pouches of milk that we sell, butter, cheese, ghee, ice cream, every single SKU, 1,000 SKUs that we have in our portfolio that we sell in a year. So this is what actually is the basic value addition in dairy products. When consumers shift from loose to packaged products, this is the first level of the trust of a consumer in a brand. And Amul, as the taste of India, and as you know, Amul Doodh Pita Hai India, the whole country trusts and the packaged products that we sell. This is the total number of packs. So this is perhaps the largest in the world. As per a Kantar research, Coca-Cola, Parle, Amul are among the top 3 brands in the world. But since our milk in sachets, which is not sold through typical retail outlets because it's mostly through roadside vendors every morning, every day across the country, this is what actually is the number of packs that we do. And this is the first level of value addition. And I'll talk about the next level of value additions in the subsequent part of the presentation. But the value addition starts with the brand and the strength of a brand. So as per a research by Brand Finance in UK, Amul has been consistently rated among the strongest dairy brands in the world. And this is where the foundation of, again, value addition starts. And this is what has been the portfolio of a brand. Amul is now 75, 77 years old. We continue to, apart from selling milk as milk in the sachet form, have a variety of products in our portfolio, depending on the changing times, changing technologies, and try to create a portfolio for person in every age group. So this is the market segments that we try to address to, and continues to innovate by launching almost 2 products every month, more than 250 in last 5 years. And the innovation portfolio continues to grow as the time progresses. We tap the latest changing moods and behavior of the customer, their acceptance of different categories of products, the available technologies which will help us process milk, and also are open to work on milk which is not the typical cow and buffalo milk, which is say camel milk and goat milk and so on. Try to create a product portfolio that will meet the requirements of customers throughout the entire day. And that's where the opportunity that we see, the acceptance of dairy products in our market and the variety of formats that we can sell, which will make the brand very, very easily available across the country and affordable for consumption throughout the day. This is why it's very important, because more than 80% share of the consumer's rupee is passed on to the producer. So this is where the strength of the Indian dairy industry lies. This is the strength of our cooperatives. And this is where the opportunity is. The higher we do value addition, the better will be the returns to our farmers. And this is the unique part of it. And this, because of this, milk is the largest agricultural crop of India. So value of output of milk is more than wheat, paddy, oil seeds put together. And this is where the better the value addition we do, the greater the income of our producers will become. And that is where the objective of our cooperative like Amul is. Talking about the future, we are perhaps the best placed country in the world today. In terms of the GDP growth, Indian economy has been growing faster than most economies around the world. And this is where is the great opportunity for all of us sitting here in India. The numbers stack up in favor of the country, be it the population. We surpass China as the most populous country in the world. The incomes are increasing. The inflation is under control. The markets are doing well. India has a very strong retail market, which means more and more people are having, consumer access, having outlets closer to them across the country, and a very, very improved, growing formal market of the economy. And that's where is the opportunity for all of us sitting in India. The population numbers, the large number of middle class, the aspiring consumer class, the affluent rich class. I mean, you can name every single segment which a developed society has to a developing society has. And that is where value addition scope also increases, because as the income increases, the consumption of milk and dairy products increase, the importance of fat and protein in the diet increases. And that's where everybody gets a great opportunity to do. And this you can see 4 generations in one picture, which means people evolving across in incomes or by age or the different strata of the society and different regions. Amul as a brand has an aspirational value for all. And that is where the opportunity lies for the brand in the years ahead. We deal with 3.6 million farmers, as I mentioned earlier. So the better the value we create, it's a value for the millions of our milk producers. And more importantly, Amul as a brand is a brand which is value for money brand, which means the consumer knows that he can get Amul products of best quality, but not paying the highest price. So this is where is the continuous attraction of the brand and the trust which our consumers have in the brand, which will make gives us a huge opportunity and also a great responsibility to build the market and follow these 2 basic fundamental tenets. So, and connecting every Indian, of course, is the most important task we do continuously around the year. To sum up and actually look at a little bit of future gazing, we are looking at several opportunities to add value to milk and the ingredients and raw materials that we have. And I'll just talk about a few points just to say that if we have created a $9-10 billion organization, in the next decade, where do we get the next $10 billion from? So these are some of the billion-dollar categories we are looking at, the opportunities in adding value to it. Some of this is very logical because we are the largest players in this market. But more importantly, if we are able to add value to the 3 million liters of whey that we have every day from making large quantities of cheese and paneer, this is one way in which we can reduce the import dependency and build a market or portfolio of a product which is acceptable to consumers, of the Indian consumers who are looking at protein in a very big way. And these are some of the products that we are developing to develop and to create a market of affordable protein products which you consume in your daily life. Immunity is very important. Role of milk in immunity, improving immunity is very there. And this is what also we continue to focus on. Sugar-free category is another thing which is there, that people want to stay healthy but not give up the indulgence. So we have a portfolio of these products which will make a market which is slightly bigger and wider than what it is currently. Clean label is one initiative which the world is moving towards, and India is also moving towards. And we have a range of products with minimal additives, minimal ingredients added to it. And this makes a product range very, very acceptable. Amul ice cream is made from only milk, no vegetable fat added. Butter cookies have 25% real butter, and so on and so forth. So this is where is our promise to the customers to provide the purest ingredient in the tastiest form. India is moving towards organic in a very big way, and so are we. And we have launched a range of organic-based products which will help us grow the market, provide organic at affordable prices to the consumers, and more importantly, connect our producers who are moving towards organics in a big way and create a market for that. Food is also important because it's the taste and ingredients and the nutrition which add excitement to food. We have a range of single origin chocolates. We have a range of single origin, as in camel milk product portfolio, which includes milk, milk powders, flavored milk, ice creams, chocolates, a single flora honey, single origin coffee, and so on and so forth. And in India, since we have a blend of a range of both cow and buffalo milk, we have a portfolio also created around this. So when you sell milk as milk, but when you sell milk as cow milk or a buffalo milk, the value addition is slightly higher. And consumers are willing to pay a premium for these kind of products, and that's what we also have moved into it. Another big category of adding value is by providing the best quality bacteria in the cultured products that we have. And today, more than 3 million liters of Amul buttermilk that you see here is converted into probiotic. So today we can proudly claim that Amul is the largest probiotic brand in the world, selling more than 3 million liters of probiotics every single day. And this is what is our attempt to improve the health of the country, strengthen the gut immunity of our country, but not charging anything extra for it. So this is value addition does not mean you always demand a higher price from the customer. Value addition also means that you provide a superior value to the same product, and that's what through the process and the technology that we have been attempting to do it. Another category of adding value is making sweets which are made from pure ingredients, and we have a range of about more than 50 sweets in different packings and manufactured at multiple plants across the country. This would make this entire, the trust of consumers in loose and unorganized sector is actually reducing, and this is what will help strengthen that. And then another combinations of best use of milk to make products like also a carbonated drink like seltzer, which is made with real fruit, dairy ingredients, and more importantly, no caffeine, no phosphoric acid, and so on and so forth. And more importantly, if we are able to service the customers directly through e-commerce and the multiple models that we have, it would help us reach out to a large number of customers across the country and also try to be economically in servicing these markets. Another form of value addition is also premium experience. So the product remains the same, the quality remains the same, but if you provide a experience, it also helps us in this. And then to reach out to millennials and the modern customers, apart from the thing, we will be launching an Amulverse, a metaverse site very soon, which will give a full experience to the new generation customer, right from milking of a cow to consumption of a product. And this is what is a new launch also coming up. So the brand has a perception which has an international appeal, exports to more than 50 countries, but also the brand has an aspirational value to improve the well-being and life of producers. And that is where is the opportunity to go global with this particular model of cooperatives that we have and the products that are made out of it, which will mean that the value addition is not just for the producers of the country of India, but can also to be suitable for any developing country around the world. This is why very important, because right now from 22% of the total milk in the world, which is produced in India, in next 10 years will be more than 1/3. And this is where the value addition part will encourage more farmers to come into this, and India has the opportunity to become a dairy to the world. We're happy to be a part of White Revolution 2, in which, as Chairman NDDB mentioned, we will be setting up 2 lakh more village cooperative societies in the next 5 years, in addition to the 2 lakh currently have. So this is where the whole country will benefit out of this cooperative model that we have. So with this, I'll sum up and end my presentation by thanking you for giving this opportunity. End of the day, it is what matters is not just milk. We believe that our currency is not milk, it is trust. Trust of millions of farmers, trust of billions consumers, and that is what helps the brand grow and continuously build value both for the producers as well as consumers. Thank you once again for this opportunity, and I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for explaining us what all Amul is into value addition. You have not only mentioned that value addition at a low cost and with better nutrition. That is what the lower middle class of India is looking at. Thank you once again. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Hiroyuki Higashira, Senior Advisor of Mayakawa, Japan, Manufacturing Company, Japan, who was formerly the Managing Director of Mayakawa India Private Limited, with more than 40 years of experience in the industrial refrigeration field. Over to you, Mr. Higashira.
Okay, namaste. मेरा नाम एगाशिरा है. इस मौका के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद. I'm sorry. I really appreciate for this opportunity for the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce and everybody associated, and a very wonderful presentation I have here so far. And nothing too much for this, but I just want to present my small presentation. Okay. Can you see this presentation?
Slideshow, please.
Show good. Just a minute.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Okay. Okay. Fine. Let's start. As Mr. Sudhir already introduced me, so hopefully that will explain why I'm here. I just want to mention from the point is Mr. Sot is rightly said that okay, India, or Mr. Mehta also, that India is one of the largest country to produce milk, and it is not done in just a few years. Just about 30 years ago, it was hardly 50 something million metric tons. But today, 2020, and okay, so in the past 30 years, the increase of milk was fourfold. So that's a great increase of the milk production happens in this country, and all the milk requires one way or another the refrigeration. And this increase in the refrigeration, okay, because I want to go into the challenge of the past and how we addressed it. Okay, so this big increase of the milk has been covered large part by changing of the technology from the reciprocating piston compressor, which was prevalent like a 16, 17 years ago when I came to India. Most of the dairy were using piston compressor. Today, this has been very much changed to the screw compressor, which has a much bigger capacity to. In the one set of the compressor can have a much bigger capacity in a much smaller space. So it becomes possible to increase the capacity of the dairy plant. And this, it's not only in those days, very few screw compressors are everything imported from outside of the country. But today, very efficient and durable screw compressor packages are made in India. maybe only the small part of it, like a screw compressor may be imported, but the rest of it is done by India, and the entire project is done by Indian people. And almost 2,000 units of these imported screw compressors are operational, and I understand 700 of them are in Delhi, and majority of them are, well, in Gujarat. And not only the screw compressor is as a new technology, but this SCADA system, because when the plant becomes very big, the mechanics or the engineer staying at the machine room cannot control the entire operation, which have to be in accordance with, in line with the manufacturing the production. And for that purpose, this SCADA system or a supervisory control and data acquisition has developed. That means today, big plant can be like this plant has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screw compressors. So very huge plant, but this can be controlled from one monitor in the machine room or control. Now, one more trend that I just checked from 2016 to 2020, some 40 million liter of the increase of the ice cream production happens. And what I see in the current trend is from 2020 to 2022, the increase should be much bigger, which I cannot find the data. But after the increase of dairy milk and dairy product, one part of the significant increase is happening for the ice cream. And ice cream, as you can suppose, requires a very low temperature refrigeration. But the nature of the screw, nature of any compressor is basically if you are running at high temperature, like typically when you are processing milk at -5 degrees C, you have a 1.1 TR per kilowatt of the. That means a 1.1 TR of the to produce 1.1 TR of refrigeration, you need 1 kilowatt. But when you have to run the same system at minus say 40 degrees C, then you can produce less than 0.5 TR of the refrigeration at the same kilowatt. So that means a low temperature operation is an inefficient system. And this one can be very much abbreviated. Now, we cannot say that we can do the very high efficiency as a high temperature refrigeration, but something called booster high stage system can cover the requirement for the very low temperature. And normally you need what we call booster compressor and high stage compressor. So 2 sets of the compressor required to achieve say -30 degrees, -40 degrees C. But today we have this system in one set of the compressor. You can have a boost, one set of the screw for the booster and one set of the screw for the high stage to cover just one set of the compressor can do the work of 2 screw compressors. So that is one development. But one more trend what I see is even the ice cream, the people are demanding, requesting much lower temperature because certainly ice cream's quality is better and you can keep the ice cream at a better quality at a lower temperature. So previously people say, okay, with a -35 degrees C, now requesting -45 degrees C. And for this kind of requirement, now we can go into the ammonia CO2 system. Ammonia CO system means that instead of having the 2 screw compressors for the booster and high stage, we have a CO2 compressor for the low temperature and ammonia refrigeration cycle for the higher temperature. And this, as you can see, below -45, this is a 2-stage compressor efficiency. This pink line shows the efficiency of the ammonia system, and blue line shows the ammonia CO2 system. And if you go to lower than -45, you can get a better efficiency for using ammonia CO2 system. So the lower temperature requirement, we can go for the this system. And one more benefit it has is basically with this configuration, you can keep the ammonia system in the machine room only. So only CO2, which is much safer than ammonia, can go to your processing hall. So this has a certain safety benefits. Now, for the system that is higher temperature, like a cold storage doesn't require -40 degrees C, but it can run at a -25 nowadays or -30 degrees for ice cream. And for that kind of system, we can use what we call ammonia CO2 brine system. That means we have configuratory, but we have a two-stage compressor at the ammonia side, and then CO2 side is only liquid. I'm only CO2 and no compressor. And this configuration, what we can do is, okay, instead of using an ammonia compressor to like run the cold storage, we can do only CO2 to run maintain the temperature of cold storage. And this is one study I have conducted in some, actually, one cold storage in Visakhapatnam, that's a Krishnapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. The comparison of the R404A, which is the prevalent freon refrigerant, against ammonia CO2 system. This is ammonia system for the like 100 TR tonnage or 150 TR tonnage. Always it will give the better performance for the requires less kilowatt for the same refrigeration. So as my calculation like this. This cold storage is 350 pallets and 7 rooms. So fairly okay. It is a very big size cold storage, but say between 100 to 60% operation, power reduction between current freon and calculated ammonia CO2 system always about 30% less than current freon system. That means ammonia CO2 system will consume 30% less power compared with the freon. And if it is the size of this kind of cold storage, if operating roughly 10 lakh rupee of the reduction power based on the 18 hours per day operation and 6.3 rupees per kilowatt hour. So certainly this one is a new direction that we should look into. Because for the safety of the sake and the easier installation, many people go to freon, but that is not the most energy efficient solution. Okay, and just one more thing. I just want to say that one more thing we are doing with ammonia and as well as CO2 is a heat pump. Basically, I don't want to, okay, I'm already, time is past, so just one point is ammonia heat pump is basically you input 1 kilowatt of the motor. That's figuratively 1 kilowatt of the power, and then you can get the 4 kilowatt of the heat product, the same refrigeration cycle with evaporator and discharge condenser. And the condenser, always had the heat, heat come from evaporator that is taken from outside with a break kilowatt. But this one all can be converted to the hot water. And this system is already, one pilot plant is in existence in Amur. I think it is running already almost 80 years. But as per the data Amur self-provided, there is so much of the saving in the fuels. And so this is another point that I'm looking forward to, our opportunity that can look into in the Indian refrigeration market. Okay, so this is that one is a gas volume, and this is a amount of saving in terms of rupees. So thank you very much, everybody. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Mr. Kashira, for insights into the latest refrigeration technologies available internationally and also which is coming into India and what you have studied about dairy industry. Thank you once again. Next, I would like to call upon Ms. Ruchi Gandhi, who is the category lead of South Asia market for Tetra Pak. She has 16 years of experience in this field. She has worked with Amul and now are presently working in Tetra Pak. Over to you, Ms. Ruchi.
Thank you, Sudhir. Good afternoon, everyone who are joined virtually. Thanks, IACC, for organizing this. It's an honor to share this forum with the esteemed co-speakers, especially my mentor, Jayan sir, as well. And today on the subject, I represent Tetra Pak India. We are one of the globally leading packaging and processing solution provider. And therefore, the dairy has always been the core of our business and also all the innovations we work on for future. Today, when we talk about the scope of dairy, value-added dairy, there are a few key trends I would like to focus upon, keeping in mind 2030. So over the next decade or so, what is that the consumer is seeking at and how we as a solution provider could support the brands in delivering that to the consumers. Jayan sir has actually covered a lot. It's very difficult to speak after Amul or Jayan sir, but I'll just add on few perspective from a solution provider point of view. The first thing is personalized health. We know that earlier when somebody used to look at a food, one would see or smell or see the colors and taste. Now, when you look at food, you open an app, you scan it and you understand the kilocalories, you understand the micro ingredients like proteins and more. So that's something what consumer is evolving to and will do more so in times ahead. And that indicates the micronutrients requirement more in value-added dairy. Now, dairy has always been the source of ingredients like minerals, calcium, but yes, protein, as was mentioned earlier also, is one of the key ingredient nutrition, which is gaining acceptance among consumers. Now, there has been, you saw earlier Amul protein, buttermilk and lassi have received innovation and awards and already receiving very good acceptance among the consumers. We are looking at more consumers across the range of dairy products like beverages, cottage cheese also to come more on the forefront. Besides this, gut health, the digestive health, we say that gut is actually the second brain. So digestive health is gaining a lot of importance because of the immunity, especially post-COVID. And that's where products like probiotic, which is already being sold in the markets, and buttermilk, lassi, but there are also more scope to do probiotics, prebiotics, and even postbiotics. There are markets like in Japan and Korea where postbiotics is gaining a lot of benefit and traction because of the consumer benefits. So you would see more of these coming to India as well. Probiotics plus pre and postbiotics as well. The third one, as Sir also mentioned, was sugar. Now, we know obesity is one of the key challenges globally, and by 2030, it is estimated that 50% of the world population would be obese and a lot at the risk of diabetics. That is where we see regulation also making some recommendations on sugar marking, and you would see a lot of low sugar products either identified basis the source of sugar or the quantity of sugar in the market. Now, as a solution provider, we support these innovations in product development, firstly through our processing solutions. Now, we have seen it happening in the industry that to have these micronutrients, filtration is a very key processing input. We have a range of filtration solutions which are engineered to meet not just the current needs, but future needs also. So it could be a microfiltration, which talks about casein standardization, or a nanofiltration, which is about demineralization of the milk and whey, which would support these innovations. Also something like an ultrafiltration, which again helps in whey, as well as the protein standardizations. So there are a lot of processing solutions around filtration, which would support these product developments to meet the consumer need. From packaging point of view, when consumer is taking care of the portion sizes or the quantity and being more aware of the content, we are expecting a range of pack sizes to emerge with added functionalities like closures to support the consumer need. Also, normally a package is a messenger to the consumer. So the first interaction is a package when the consumer holds the package and look at the ingredients. That's where clean labels or something like a dynamic QR code becomes very pertinent. We've already seen a lot of these trends happening globally. In India, QR code has been accepted as a payment mode and many other forums, and we believe it could be a very integral part of packaging as well, where the code could be all the data source of all the claims, all the information, and you want to share with the consumers. Besides this, personalized health also means indulgence. Now we know the consumers are looking at very focused and self-indulgence. They are not just about nutrition, it's also about having a good snack, having a good dairy snack, of course. And that's where ice creams comes into being. So ice cream is one product where from kids to adults, everybody grabs it in a tropical country like India for indulgence. We would see a lot of innovations in premium ice creams happening in the industry, where consumers are not just looking at a dairy, smooth texture, but they're also looking at a mix of nuts, fruit, pulp, and even bakery. And that's where it is imperative to have processing backend to support these innovations in the production. At Tetra Pak, we have extrusion lines. We've actually patented an extrusion wheel, which can enable the inclusions to the size of 25 mm. So now an ice cream bar can actually have a cherry or even a nut, which is up to the size of 25 mm, while taking care of the smoothness of the product. So you are delivering a good premium product with the right true ingredients. So these extrusion lines also ensure efficiencies to the highest and enable low cost per product. So it's not just the premium in terms of quality, but also efficiency in terms of plant operations and running that we support the brands with. Besides personalized nutrition and food, I think one key underlining trend is about sustainability. We heard about it in the food chain session also, but I think this is going to spread across the value chain in dairy, especially when we are talking about, value-added products. It can come through the processing equipments, the processing at the plant we set up, either the cold storage or even any equipment we have in terms of energy savings, in terms of water savings, or merely the carbon footprint it provides. We at Tetra Pak provide solutions like one-step technology, where we have worked on water savings up to 40%, energy savings up to 28%, and an overall cost operation cost reduction by 40%. Now, these are to support the brand achieve their CO2 emission targets or the overall life cycle assessment as well. Besides this, we are also working on a package which currently our packages are 75% paper-based, coming from a renewable source. But yes, our 2030 target is to have a package which is fully made of renewable source. And that's the ambition we have for the industry also. So to sum it up, actually, value-added dairy would be the sunshine category, and you would see a lot of innovations because that's what the consumer has been asking for, shifting from maybe a CSG or other categories into dairy, because the source of nutrition in an Indian country population is largely dairy. So you would continue to see a lot of innovations there. What is important and very imperative is that all the partners in the value chain deliver this product, join hands to give that innovation at the efficiencies and lower cost as well, while keeping in mind that the sustainable goals in terms of carbon footprint and renewability recycling are also met through. So that's my viewpoint on the subject. Would be happy to address any questions or connect later as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ruchi. Thank you for the presentation where speech you have spoke about innovation and sustainability and carbon footprint. And definitely this value-added dairy segment is definitely a sunshine segment with the best nutrition available in dairy products. Next, without wasting much time, I would like to call upon Professor Dinesh Chandra Rai. He is the professor of dairy science from Banaras Hindu University with more than 35 years of experience. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Sudhirji.
Thank you, sir.
I would Jayant Mehtaji, MD Tamul, Mr. Minis Saji, Chairman and MD NDDB, Ruchi Gandhi, Hiroyuki, and Nilu Sadhana from Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. First of all, I thanks to IACC for inviting me in this session. And our history, daring history is very glorious, and we feel very proud on it. In our country, dairying is the more about livelihood of millions of farmers rather than a business. As Jayan Mehta already said, that milk is India's most largest agricultural commodity in terms of value. Dairy industry is the largest contributor to the agricultural GDP, and milk is the primary source of liquidity and supplementary income for over 100 million farmers in our country, most of who fall under the bracket of, this is very important, under the bracket of marginal and landless farmers. Because in our country, we don't have the large dairy farms. So we are the largest milk producer in the world, and the milk comes from the small and marginal farmers. India has one of the lowest cost of production globally, and another very advantageous situation is our geographical situation is very supporting to us and close to milk deficient markets such as South, Southeast, and West Asia. These two factors call for exploring the opportunity in capturing this market. This is tremendous scope for the products such as our traditional value-added product to cater the Indian market and also from the abroad. The success of a value-added dairy business was ultimately depend on commitment, social and institutional support, and sustainability. You all know our country is the largest milk producer, and presently we are producing about 221 million tons milk. This is 24% of the global milk production, and at present our per capita availability is 444 grams per day. I escaped this allocation of milk for milk products in India. In our country, about 40% milk used by the producers, and remaining 60% is sold. And out of this 60%, 70% milk goes into unorganizing sector, and while 30% goes into the organizing sector. But this ratio is increasing very fast. About 50% of our milk is converted into various dairy products. This is a very interesting figure. To value-added products our margin, our profit margin will increase. If you sold milk as a loose milk in the market, the profit will be 10%. In processed and packaged milk, the profit will be 20%. In milk powder or butter, the profit will be 30%. Paneer 40%. Sandesh 58%. Peda 48%. Gulab Jamun 67%. And the profit will be more and more in traditional dairy products. The potential for our further growth, huge scope for both organized and unorganized sector. Our large growth in dairy industry in the country is also expected due to several demographical factors like increasing our affordability, increased number of nuclear family and working women, and rising exposure of Western and packaged dairy products such as yogurt, UST milk, functional and probiotic dairy products. The major breakthrough in our Indian dairy industry, because we are very skilled and very advanced manpower in the country due to the Operation Flood program, like automation in milk processing and production. We have almost most advanced plant and machinery for the dairy industry. Export potential for dairy, India export dairy product to the world for the worth of rupees 2,928 crores during the year 21-22 by as per the EBITDA. And India is located amidst perennial milk deficient countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and major importers will be the Bangladesh, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, Japan, and other Gulf countries. So we enjoy strategically advantageous geographical location in terms of international trade. The promising product for value addition is liquid milk, UST milk, because the demand for UST milk is increasing very fast. So we can convert our product for viscous and particulates in UST products like milk desserts, cream, kheer, other products also. Western dairy products. Our Indian consumers, as the taste for Western dairy product are acceptable in our country. So the demand for Western dairy products is increasing day by day. And we can convert our dairy products to ready-to-eat products and ready-to-eat constituents dairy foods like ready-to-eat kheer, instant kheer, basundi mix, gulab jamun mix, rasgulla mix, khoa powder, and long life paneer. Our dairy industry are already entered into the designer and functional food, and in our country, our Indian consumers respect and like our Indian herbs and spices. So we can develop new dairy products in having the functional property. And Amul is already doing. Amul introduced tulsi doodh, haldi doodh, etc. NDRI also developed the Arjuna ghee, and Mother Dairy also doing in the same path. We are also entered in the fortified milk market, and many companies producing the fortified milk. probiotics is also another sector, and our dairy industry is already introduced the very probiotic products like dahi, ice cream, Srikhand, etc. Many more. High protein dairy products, we have already introduced the high protein ice cream, high protein buttermilk, high protein yogurt in the market. Buffalo milk, our about 50% of our milk is buffalo milk, and we can develop our buffalo milk into the mozzarella cheese, because the mozzarella cheese is the base material for pizza, and pizza is widely popular in the world. So we can go for more and more mozzarella cheese, quality mozzarella cheese, paneer, khoa, dairy whitener, dahi yogurt from the buffalo milk. Goat milk also have a very nutraceutical property, and we have 3 to 4% of goat milk. So we can convert our goat milk into the various products, and we are already producing the cheese, kefir, yogurt, ice cream, and butter from the goat milk. Camel milk also having the functional property, because the camel milk has very low fat and low saturated fats. So we can develop the healthy drinks from the camel milk, and camel milk is very good, and we are already doing the introduce the various product from the camel milk. And the packaging industry, as Ruchi already told about the Tetra Pak. So the packaging industry has been developed very smart and packaging for the dairy industry. And lastly, I conclude that dairy industry is emerging as a potential sector in India, and Rajasthan, at present, Rajasthan is the first in the milk producing in the country. UP is the second. Role of small and marginal farmer can be increased by promoting the cooperative model in other states. Government should support further for dairy sector, and PPP partnership can be the good model. Investors can focus on novel and innovative dairy products. We can improve the manufacturing process and packaging of our traditional dairy products. And lastly, milk specialties can also be a choice for their functional value. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sir, for your valuable insights into value-added products available from various milks. Now I would like to call upon the chief guest of the session, who has been patiently waiting. Thank you, sir. Mr. Minash Shah, Chairman Managing Director of NDDB, with 37 years of experience in dairy sector, recently conferred with the Dr. Kurian Award 2023. And over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sudhirji. Mr. Jayan Mehta, Managing Director of GCMMF, Mr. Riga Shira, Ms. Ruchi Gandhi, Professor Dinesh Chandra Rai, and all the participants. I am actually very happy to be with you, all of you today. I was, as you told, patiently learning all the, all the information and presentations which was, presented by all the learned people. I'll just be brief, because most of the thing which I had thought of speaking is covered by Jayan and Ruchi. But just to throw some, perspective of the dairy industry, Today, we are world's largest milk producer, as told. From 1998, we have been the largest milk producer. We are currently contributing about 23% of the world's milk production. And we are also not, we are also the largest consumer of the milk and milk products. So apart from the producer, we also have that distinction. Other thing which is important is, our dairy industry is not only, serving the nutrition needs of the people, but it's also a source of major livelihood for almost 8 crore families who are directly connected with the industry, and they are getting the regular income from this industry. Some more figures. At present, I think around 60 to 65% of milk which we produce is actually used for making value-added products, and the remaining is consumed as liquid milk. And if we see last year, our consumption was 204 million tons. So it's the largest consumer of milk in the world. And we assume that this consumption will reach almost 273 million tons by 26-27. So in terms of value, if you see, our size of the Indian dairy market was about 13 trillion rupees in 21. And that also we expect that it will touch almost 30 trillion rupees by 27. And, as we all agree, it is one of the fastest growing markets in the world. And we have seen the growth of almost 15% per annum in the last 15 years. So I think with the sustained growth of the Indian economy, a consequent rise in the purchasing power, which we have seen during the last 2 decades, more and more people are today, they are able to afford more for milk and various other dairy products. And we believe that this trend is going to continue, with the sector experiencing a very, very robust growth in the demand in the short and medium run. So what is the current scenario when it comes to value-added products from milk? I think many of the speakers, they spoke about the value addition of milk. The total size of value-added dairy products market is expected to reach about 14 trillion rupees by 2027. And it's growing at, as I told, CAGR of 14-15% every year. And value-added products like flavored milk, flavored and frozen yogurt, buttermilk, probiotic dairy products, which all the speakers highlighted, the various derivatives, ice cream, milkshakes, you name, even the milk-based sweets and table butter. And now the latest addition is the organic milk and milk products. So they are all actually expected to grow beyond maybe 20% CAGR during this period of 23 to 27. And we all know milk is amenable to a variety of processes, such as the adjustment of its constituents. Richie told about the filtration techniques. Now they are used, the concentration, drying, acidification, fermentation, freezing. So I think we have the variety of products here for value addition, and we use different processing techniques, which is actually giving us a variety of dairy products which we have in our country, and you don't see anywhere else apart from our country. So this range of all the products with the nutritional choice which they provide to consumers, I think the growth potential of Indian dairy sector is expected to further strengthen the rural economy, because it's also the source of livelihood, as I told, for more than 8 crore families. Then we have seen the rapid industrialization, urbanization, the disposable income has increased. We are seeing more and more nuclear families. The awareness about the hygienic products, particularly after the post-COVID, is increasing. So I think the market for value-added products is on increasing trend, and everybody will agree that this coming century is the actually market for the value-added products. The families now have a very different dynamics than what we had seen 5 to 10 years ago. People today have very little time, from their busy life for activities like setting curd at home or making ghee, from homemade butter. We have seen earlier that this was all happening almost at every household, but now the scenario is completely changed. People are more busy. Life is getting faster. Their lifestyle is changing, and simple items like curd, butter, lassi, or ghee, they are all now purchased from the nearby shops to save time and also the efforts. And this in turn will actually result into formalization of VADP market, as we say. We have seen very recently, Mother Dairy has launched actually custard in the Tetra Pak, and it has a very long shelf life. So just, you buy some fruits, mix it with the custard, and you have the, ready-made custard at home. Similarly, we have seen I think Jayan also explained about the demand for the high protein drinks. And we have seen the photographs also. Amul has launched both lassi and buttermilk in a 200 ml pack, where they promise 15 grams of protein per packet. So I think this, as we have the spending capacity of the people is increasing, and they are willing to buy more and more healthier or superfoods, which we say, the demand for the value-added dairy products is going to increase from here. We have also seen the lifestyle alterations happening, which has led to increase in the demand of these products compared to earlier just base product like liquid milk. Now we have many products in the market, like probiotic drinks was mentioned by the earlier speakers. So consumer with the digestive issues, I think it's a very good product for them. We have seen a lot of impact on the consumer purchase patterns after COVID, and people are switching to the healthier food like haldi milk and badam milk and tulsi drink. So we have so many products now and opportunities available for the fermented product like curd, lassi, buttermilk, with all these options of putting the healthier ingredients into it. And health is actually biggest concern now for the consumers, and giving such options, which also helps in building the immunity of the people. I think this is going to be a big value-added markets for our dairy sector. It is expected that the dairy market share of the organized sector will increase. We have seen last year it was around 34%. We expect to grow it to almost 44-45% by 2027. And this multiple value-added products such as curd, paneer, ghee, sweets, they are expected to witness a massive boost in the sales of the organized players. And in addition, I think now we have seen the e-commerce, which is creating opportunities for the dairy industries to connect with consumers directly, and with many consumers still working remotely after the pandemic. I think there has been a massive shift also in shopping and the adoption of digital commerce by the consumers. So e-commerce has become a priority channel now, and I think also a platform for the industry and consumer, which is going to be play a significant role in the online shopping of the consumers. We have seen customers are also now moving towards clean label in the pursuit of clean lifestyle. So the natural, unprocessed, real ingredients, free from additives, or sustainable and transparent packing and brands. So I think these are some of the future food categories which will emerge, and we may see some natural and traditional cheese products emerging in our market also, which were not there earlier. Similarly, the economic growth in the country and also the increasing health consciousness by our consumers will propel the adoption of organic variants. I think as Jain Bhai covered in his speech, the organic milk is in a nascent stage now, but the increasing consumer preference will accelerate its growth in near future. Just to inform that under the aegis of Ministry of Cooperation, a National Cooperative Organics Limited, it's a multi-state cooperative which is already formed, and where NDDB is a chief promoter with Amul or GCMMF, NCDC, NAFED and NCCF as the other promoters. And we expect that this will act as an umbrella organization working across the value chain of organic products through the cooperatives. So, I think one of the important point which I would say, apart from what are the points made, is also the sustainability, which is going to be important criteria for shifting consumer behavior in the recent times and in the future. And consuming in a way that is good for the planet is now, I think, inherently considered by the consumers when they make choice to buy a value-added product. So some of the responsible brands which we have today, I think they'll have to take care for the environment among the other things. So just to conclude, I will say that value addition around the convenience, nutritional needs, evolving consumption patterns, and the unmet consumer needs we have seen almost across the age groups. I think that is the mantra for the success, and focus on the innovation for masses is now, I think, getting this scale. And while doing value addition, I think we must have the preference for taste, price, and quality. All of them should be right. And we'll have to also consider that Mother Earth takes the toll for all our actions. And therefore, we should always keep sustainability in view while whatever innovations which we are making. And consumer needs are emerging at a great pace. And it surely is a very exciting time for our industry to come up with many new value-added products, which can make the Indian dairy industry strong and also spoil the consumer for the choice as well. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful insights into the value-added product industry and also the dairy industry. We need NDDB and Amul to work together and bring in more value to the value-added industry in milk industry. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.